Dr. McCullough, the CDC is reporting that cases of the seasonal flu are surging across the U.S. And so first I want to know, is this year's flu shot effective? I just got mine a couple weeks ago thinking it might help, hopefully. And would you recommend that people get it?
We won't know if the flu shot's effective actually until next year, and the calculated vaccine efficacy comes out. Now, in the last few years, the vaccine efficacy has been very disappointing. Most years statistically insignificant from zero. So it's a very modest protection at best. I wouldn't recommend it for a young, healthy person because any side effect would be unacceptable. And those with very serious lung disease, oxygen dependent, is a different story.
So what kind of medications do you recommend that individuals and families should have on hand to stay safe during the flu season?
There are currently 4 FDA-approved antivirals against influenza, the common influenza. 75% influenza in humans is influenza A, 25% influenza B. It's handled with oseltamivir or Tamiflu. The key is to start it on day 1. In the clinical trials, when it started on day 5, it's poorly effective. That's the reason why the Wellness Company emergency medical kits are so important. The Black Contagion Kit has oseltamivir, and it can be started at the very first day of symptoms.
All right, so just to follow up on that, Dr. McCullough, okay, let's say you think you have the flu, but you don't know because you haven't tested, because I presume that the tests are difficult to get unless you actually go and get tested for it. And you think you have it, and you do take that Tamiflu, but it's not the flu. Is there any bad effect or adverse effect from taking Tamiflu if it's just a common cold or something else?
No, there's no particular downside to it. I had a phone call with an emergency room physician yesterday and confirmed exactly what you're reporting, that rates of influenza are very high and testing positive in the emergency room. So it's no harm in starting. Remember, first-line defense is also nasal sprays, throat sprays, and gargles. Wellness Company, we feature Immune Mist, which is a povidone iodine-based product that kills influenza and is very effective. So a combination of nasal and throat sprays, gargles, and then early antivirals is the way to go.
All right. Well, the New York Times doctor is reporting this week that RFK Jr. will seek to limit pharmaceutical companies' ability to advertise. Do you think this is a good idea, and will it help limit Big Pharma's influence on the U.S.?
I do. I think direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical advertising should be banned, and we should get it out of America. It's just the United States and New Zealand. There's legislative efforts, by the way, in New Zealand to get rid of them as well. They're very expensive commercials. They're typically for rare diseases. Many times they're confusing, misleading. It's not helping the American public. I think most doctors and patients would want to see lower prescription drug costs and skip the advertisements.
So I want to get your take on this as well. Recently, it was reported that a cat food company was recalling its products, which recently tested positive for the presence of bird flu. Is this concerning in your eyes? Are we creeping towards a bird flu pandemic here?
I don't think so. There's actually reports of 2 cats dying of after drinking raw milk. But, the PCR tests are notoriously false positive, particularly testing dog food, milk, other products. So we only recommend the PCR test in somebody, a human, who's acutely sick with influenza. Then it has to be adjudicated. So, out of an air of caution, there may be a recall. But if I was a pet owner, I wouldn't worry about this at all.
So tell me a little bit about the transmission between animals and humans in this case. If you got bird flu and a cat has it, can animals pass it on to humans, and vice versa? Can humans pass it on to animals?
A paper in New England Journal of Medicine this week by Garg and colleagues has shown that the chickens, the poultry, can pass it to humans, but in every case, it was during the process of culling. This is very important. Culling is an intentional killing of healthy chicken flocks as a biosecurity measure. And sadly, what's happening is with all the dander and the flailing around as the chickens are dying, the workers get exposed. So I think we should actually stop culling, stop mass PCR testing, no need for quarantines. The animals are gaining natural immunity for bird flu. And then when it is contracted in humans, so far it's been very mild. In the GARD paper, everyone was started on Tamiflu on the first day. It looks like it's very effective. Using the nasal sprays and gargles, even a dilute iodine eye drop would be perfectly fine. We've never had a death due to bird flu in the United States, and there's no human-to-human transmission.
Well, doctor, as we turn the page on 2024 and now are in 2025, what is the one thing you are hopeful about as we look to the new year, especially from a health perspective?
I'm very hopeful that through programs like yours and so many, that the public is becoming increasingly sophisticated and discerning. Many are outfitting themselves at home with the types of nasal sprays, gargles, nutraceuticals, emergency medical kits to handle problems at home, relieving the system of visits to the urgent care or emergency room, and that we can actually navigate our own health urgencies. At the Wellness Company, we have telemedicine 24/7 if people need to call, get some guidance. But we should unburden our healthcare system with these common problems that we've discussed today with the tools provided by the Wellness Company.
Well, absolutely. Well, being in the thick of it, of flu season here, what is the one product from the Wellness Company that you recommend people should get to be able to get through this season healthy?
I would get Immune Mist. Immune Mist is the povidone iodine nasal spray and throat spray, and get a black contagion kit. That's going to handle influenza. We know that the twice a day nasal sprays and throat sprays are preventive. We can prevent getting influenza and other forms of viral infections by having some oral nasal hygiene on a regular basis.
That's what I was just about to ask, doctor, because I just took a flight to New York. You should, it sounds like, actually prevent it before you step on the plane by doing the nasal sprays before you go. Is that right?
Absolutely. I'm on a ski trip right now. Historically, about 80% of the time, people have gotten sick in the condo. We're all doing twice a day nasal sprays. I'm happy to report everybody is healthy and having fun skiing.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. McCullough, we truly appreciate you sharing all of that advice with our viewers today. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.